Hello, I'm Paul Pfeiffer. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Anderson Trucking Service. And I'm here today to talk to you about inflation. You've probably heard the recent reports, but I guarantee you've probably felt the impacts of inflation on everything that you buy these days. The cost is higher, and we're seeing inflation levels that we haven't seen in over 40 years in the United States. It's a complex topic, a lot of different facets to it, but I'm going to do my best to try to boil it down to 3 points. Those 3 points are the what, the so what, and the what's next. So let's start with the what. What is inflation? What's going on right now is that we have a tremendous demand for buying things, whatever they would happen to be. And that is outstripping the supply of the materials, the parts, and the labor that are required to deliver those goods and services. In other words, we want to buy something, we can't, it might be backlogged, and there's a help wanted sign in almost every window around the country. So point 2, the so what. Well, the so what is, almost everything that we buy today is more expensive than it was yesterday, from essential day-to-day goods to durable goods to services that we purchase. The third point, the what's next. Well, I'm in the transportation industry, and so I'll give you a little bit of an insight into the things that I look at. I'll start with, it's true. It is discouraging when you see the higher prices, and there is no doubt that the consumer is going to start spending differently. They'll change their buying habits as both inflation goes up as well as interest rates go up. We might start to buy less, we might just shift and start buying other products, or we just might stop purchasing some things altogether, and that will end up lowering the demand. While that's true of the consumer, I think that the businesses are actually going to slow their spending a little bit less quickly than the consumer, as they still have to catch up on some of the backlog that they have and a lower level of inventory replenishment that they might have. There's also things that will be happening in the infrastructure spend and then the continuing day-to-day consumer essential that will keep freight levels up. Now, there's one phenomenon that's going on in our transportation industry, and that is the truck manufacturers still cannot produce trucks at the replacement level for our industry. So it's my belief that at least for the next 6 months, if not a little longer, that it's going to be difficult to find that combination of a reliable truck and a quality driver. The last aspect of inflation that I want to touch on is where it's being driven from. There's inflation that's being driven by wages that are going up, and then there is inflation that's being driven by the lack of parts and materials and supplies. Well, the portion that's being driven by wages on the rise is going to be more permanent than that of the inflation that's coming from a lack of materials and supplies. When we think about our transportation industry, our spot rates are coming down, but our contract rates, it's forecasted, will need to go up by double-digit percentage points in order to be able to support those higher wages and the higher driver pay that we're seeing across our industry. Wow, that was a lot for just 3 bullet points, but I hope it helped provide a little bit of insight. Thank you, take care, and be safe.